bird's-eye view of trees, or a place where strange young women barged in. I gulped down the pills with the hope they would help rejuvenate my memory. But still. How'd I get here? Your son told me you might not remember. He moved you in yesterday. We're glad you decided to join us. You'll love it here. She gave me one last smile and then turned and made a quick exit. No, my son Denny would have never done this to me. He knew how much I valued my independence. But still, think. I pushed my palms against my forehead, trying to squeeze some memory out of my foggy brain. There had to be something I could remember. I started with the basics. I am Paul Jacobson, born September 20th, 1921, in San Francisco, now living in Hawaii. After a pause and a deep breath, I still didn't recognize this apartment that I'd supposedly moved into the day before. What else? My stomach growled. Where could a guy get some grub around this joint? I'd have to get dressed and look around. I put on Bermuda shorts, a polo shirt, and tennis shoes. This place still didn't look the least bit familiar, but the things in it did. There was my old television set, a picture of Rhonda and me on our wedding day, a golf trophy I won in 1997. Boy, did I putt well that day. Within 3 of shooting my age. Some things a person never forgets. Combing my full head of neatly trimmed gray hair, I looked at myself in the mirror and patted my flat stomach. Not bad for an old fart. Still had all my good white teeth, strong limbs, no arthritis, face not too badly wrinkled. I'd been alive for at least 80 years, but could have passed for a young fellow in his 70s. I reached for the door handle, and my hand grazed a set of keys dangling from the knob. Must have been my keys. I thrust them in my pocket, stepped out, and closed the door. Outside, I looked at the number by the door. 615. A nameplate showed Paul Jacobson. Damnation, this had to be where I lived, but it didn't look at all familiar. Wandering down the hallway, I spied 2 elevators side by side. I'd have to head down. After an interminable wait, the door of the left elevator slid open and I stepped in. I stood face to face with a swarm of old people, several walkers. Crap, this place was full of old fogies. Where's the guy get some breakfast around here? I asked. A woman in a yellow muumuu gave me a skeptical look. 2nd floor, of course. 2nd floor, I mumbled to myself. After a bumpy ride punctuated by stops on 2 other floors, the elevator door opened. I was swept out as the limping horde moved through an entryway and into a large room, brightly lit by overhead lights and floor-to-ceiling windows. Sure enough, it looked like a feeding trough for the decrepit, a room crammed with tables, seating 2 to 4 geezers and geezerettes. I sniffed. The mingled aroma of papaya, fried eggs, and sausage tickled my nose. Dishes clattered in the background, and I could sense the heat of sweaty old bodies. I tried to figure out where to sit. A young woman with black hair tucked in a bun grabbed my arm. This way, Mr. Jacobson. She steered me to a table with 2 other men. One reminded me of a cross between a bald gnome and a Buddhist monk in an aloha shirt. He shoveled food into a wrinkle-lined cavity above a recessed chin. The other one stood up and appeared to be approximately my size, probably 5'11", with white hair and a full white beard. Reminded me of a skinny Santa Claus. He gave me a welcoming smile and waved me to a chair. I'm Paul Jacobson, I said. Yeah, I know, the white-bearded man said. Yeah, we met yesterday. Yesterday? Sure, you arrived here yesterday. Who are you? I'm Meyer Ohana. We had a pleasant dinner together yesterday. You keep talking about yesterday. Don't you remember our conversation? Nope. This is all new ground for me. I didn't realize it yesterday, but you must suffer from short-term memory loss. Yep, that's my big problem. You can ask me anything about 1940, but yesterday is a blank. So how was your memory before you started having